All right, here we go. Part 2, colonoscopy. Fun stuff. But before I get started, make sure to like and subscribe. Subscribe is the big one, as I do have some hospital bills coming up and I would love to get monetized. But also, I want you to follow my story and give your input if you've been dealing with ulcerative colitis or if you're in the same shoes as me. So let's communicate, let's talk. So please subscribe, like, comment. All right, let's get back to it. Now, before I get going too far into this, I do have a couple things that I wanted to add from the last video that I just wanted to clear up. So I first want to start with that night that I had the really lightheaded bowel movement in the middle of the night. That was also the first time that there was blood in it. The next day, I believe, give or take, I had a little bit more, and then so on and so forth. But when that happened that Saturday, early Sunday, in the middle of the night ordeal, I freaked out because I was lightheaded and I had seen blood. So the fear was that it was, I don't know, a vein or an artery or something that burst down there. But in all reality, it was just what they call a let me get this right, vasovagal response. I was really concerned about that at first, but then I relaxed once nothing bad happened. Fast forward to that stool sample that I got from my PCP, a lot more blood in it. Thus, that calprotectin number was way up due to crazy inflammation, and it was all liquid, no real solids whatsoever. Sorry, I should have had a trigger warning there, but if you're watching this video, you probably already know what's going on. So after that, let's get into that CT that I had. Right after it, I was told to be put on a clear liquid diet. And my God, for 2 days, that thing killed me. I want to say that progressed a lot of things that were going on because after that, my stomach must have shrunk. I couldn't eat anything after that. Super small portions, like tapas size portions, and only 2 or 3, maybe 4 of those a day. Nothing big because my gut was telling my stomach, you can't eat. And probably again, the stomach shrunk due to this. Thus, my weight loss rapidly increased. Wasn't good at all. On top of that, I was going 6 to 10 times a day, losing liquid. That increased to 10 plus. So you can only imagine if you can't get enough in and yet tons is coming out, it's going to leave you dehydrated and incredibly weak, fatigued to the max, and the list goes on and on. And that started to make me think people with cholera or dysentery, that it's diarrhea to death. It's scary. That's what I was fearing. I knew I didn't have any of those, but man, that's not a good way to go. Anyways, just wanted to clear that up before I now get into the next part of the story, which is after the GI specialist, after I left the GI specialist and into the colonoscopy. So, if you can remember from my last video, I had gone to the GI specialist and he had wanted to do a colonoscopy. First, I want to do a sigmoidoscopy. I only wanted to do 10-15 minutes and just like the first little section of your colon. And because I didn't want to go under, I hadn't been under anesthesia in God since high school, so 20 years ago. And I know that's a stupid concern to have, but I was trying to do anything I could to get out of the full colonoscopy. But he wasn't having it. He needed to do the whole thing. And so it was an acceptance on my part. As I left the office, I needed to accept it. But at first, I shed some tears because of my weight. That hit me like a ton of bricks. Again, I was losing probably 10, 15 pounds a week, give or take. I went from 190 to my first visit with the PCP was 176. And then I believe that this one with my GI about a week later was about 166. And then I'll get to my ultimate weight when I arrive at the colonoscopy here in a little bit. But so leaving that doctor's appointment, the GI specialist, was rough. I knew I had a week to prepare. The colonoscopy was scheduled for the September 12th, and I, needed to get ready for it mentally. Had gotten my prep kit. If you ever had a colonoscopy, you know what's in it. Not fun stuff. I decided to push that away. I didn't want to look at it. I didn't want to acknowledge it. I just wanted to live the week that I could and not worry at all about this shit that was coming up. Let's get into how I was feeling that week. Again, not eating, pain was increasing in the gut area, so probably gas buildup plus plenty of other stuff. When I was sleeping, I was always in the fetal position. I had to move incredibly slowly if I wanted to turn over because it could trigger a bowel movement. It sucked. It was the worst. I couldn't lay out flat. I had to, be in the fetal position and move slow. Same thing with sitting down. I couldn't go into any positions. When I crossed my legs, I would have to go slowly. It was hell on earth. I was weak, incredibly weak. Going up and down the stairs was a problem. It was horrendous, terrible. All right, but now we get to the day. Oh, the day. Well, actually, the day before. Bad. It kicked off bad. Let's just say that back on the clear diet sucked. Felt weak, couldn't do shit, couldn't do anything. It was terrible. At night, the Horcrux water. If you ever seen Harry Potter, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Stop! It will stop, Professor. It will stop. But only if you keep drinking.
Don't make me.
I'm sorry, sir.
Kill me!
No.
Plenvu is the devil. Plenvu is the worst thing on this earth. Voldemort. It is horrible. Luckily, I had support. My mom was there. But because I was so weak, it just did not go well at all. My stomach rejected it. Each gulp down was a struggle. I was trying to go fast just to get it over with, and I puked up about half of it. After I puked that, I rallied. Terrible, just like in college, puke and rally. And I went back to drinking it. Man, it sucked. Sure enough, cleared out. And then I was supposed to do the second round in the morning at 2 o'clock in the morning for my colonoscopy, which was at 8:30, I believe. So woke up, 2 o'clock, terrible, terrible, terrible pain in the stomach, feeling like death. Stupid phone ran out of battery. Sorry about that. This may be a little bit off because I kept recording and didn't realize that it wasn't recording. So here we go again. 2 o'clock in the morning, terrible. I didn't want to do it. I ended up puking it all up anyways, the second round. And so I was done. I was like, whatever. I'm just going to go in for the colonoscopy, say I did my prep, and go from there. Get to the hospital, I think at 7:30 or so, and I'm incredibly dehydrated. Oh my God. I had one little ice chip before going in because they tell you can't drink water or anything for 4 or 5 hours before it, something like that. They weighed me. I weighed 150 pounds. 3.5 weeks, three and a half weeks, something like that. I had gone from 190 to 150, 40 pounds just like that. All my muscles gone. I looked like a twig. I mean, I'm still kind of like that right now, but I am gaining weight. That's another thing. I am gaining weight. Good signs. And at that point in the hospital, this particular hospital, I didn't care anymore about the colonoscopy. I just wanted to get it over with. I'd accepted it. I wanted to just go home, get on meds, go home and relax and recover. Well, fate had different plans for me. So I roll into the room where they're going to do it. Last thing I remember is they put on the oxygen mask and I'm gone. I'm out. Well, only 20, 25 minutes later, I was back in my room and still on my side, woken up by my mom, who was right there beside me. Another 20 minutes later, after all this stuff wears off and I can actually comprehend things, Doc comes in. He had to abort the full colonoscopy because the inflammation was so severe that he was afraid he was going to perforate my colon. He said I had two options. First option was to go to the sister hospital where his GI specialist team was and get on IV drip to get not only fluids in me, but also to get basically prednisone or steroids to start getting the inflammation down ASAP. Second option was to get on prednisone orally and go home. He highly recommended I go to the hospital. He said that it's bad, so took his Hedons and went to the other hospital that was about 15 minutes away. And that's where I'll stop from here, and I'll go into that in part 3. Thank you for tuning in. And again, make sure to subscribe, like, and hang out. And tell me your story about colonoscopies and your run in with ulcerative colitis. All right. Anyways, I'm out. Peace.